Okay, hello everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful summertime. This is actually a wonderful time to practice your English. Okay, I know that doesn't sound very romantic, but I think there are some wonderful ways that we can practice our English and use our English and improve our English while having fun during the summertime. And so today we will be talking about one of my favorite films of 2017. We'll be talking about Wonder Woman. Before then, I'd like to take a little time to introduce our summer courses. Okay, so today, for our live broadcast, I will talk about our live broadcast schedule from July to September. And then we will spend some time talking about Wonder Woman. And in particular, what I want to focus on is how to talk about a film. Okay, how do we talk about a film that we like or dislike? Okay, so the first thing that I want to tell you all is that practicing English can be a lot of fun. A lot of students feel that studying English is about having a textbook or having a magazine and then using that to improve your knowledge of English and so on and so forth. Are we doing okay?
Yeah.
Very good, thank you, Iris. But however, I think there are some wonderful ways for us to use English and play with English. I think that's something we should all think about. So the first thing that I want to focus on is the dates and the times. So we will have 7 sessions of the live broadcast. Okay, the first 3 sessions are here in July, and then we will take a break, and then we will have 2 times in August, and then after the school official break, we will have 2 times in September. We will have 2 times in September. So 7 times in total, and they are all on Wednesday afternoons between 2 and 3 p.m. So 7 weeks between 2 and 3 p.m. We will talk about fun stuff, okay? Fun English for the summertime. Hopefully, I can give you all some techniques and some mindset that you have, that we can all have when using English for fun purposes. So the first thing I want to ask is, Iris, is there anyone watching? There are 2 people watching. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for watching. Whoever you are, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be, to know that even during the summertime, people still appreciate our live broadcast and still want self-learning points. Isn't this awesome? Okay, so whoever you are, please write a comment. I will ask some questions. So please ask some questions and respond to my questions, and you will get the self-learning points. Okay, so next slide, please. So this is the wonderful schedule that we have put together for the next 7 sessions over the next 3 months. And all of them have some component of English learning to them. Today we will be talking about the wonderful Wonder Woman. Okay, like I said, this is probably my favorite film so far of 2017. And the reason I want to talk about it is because it's still in theaters now. You can still go and watch it. And it's also an important part of our culture. Movies, and how to talk about films is very important for us in learning English. Okay, next week and the week after, we will be talking about one of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite worlds, the universe of Harry Potter. And the reason for this is because next semester we will be offering a workshop, an English in Use workshop in the library, and I will be focusing on Harry Potter and the novels, the films, the magic. Okay, so we will be talking about those, and this is a chance to talk about novels as well. How do we use English novels and English films as well to improve our English and to expand on our knowledge of the world and our culture? How to become a little bit more cultured through watching films and reading novels. So those are the 3 weeks. That's what we're going to focus on in July. And I'll ask all of you to think about not just these films and novels, but also we will talk about choosing novels that you like and talking about novels in general. In August, we will talk about how to introduce Taiwan to the world. We are broadcasting now from Furen University. As you know, we are part of the Olympiad that is going to take place here in Taipei in August, actually. And you will probably meet some foreigners, or maybe you want to meet some foreigners, or you will in the future, or you have in the past. Either way, I have found that it is a good idea to rehearse some questions that are often asked about, where is Taiwan, what is special about Taiwan, some geographical, historical, and some social questions. And so I will present to you all a detailed list and a detailed list of responses of how to introduce Taiwan. Okay, where we are, how many people we have, what is special about Taiwan in terms of its culture, its society. And so you will be armed with answers when you are asked, when you are called upon here in Taiwan, or when you are in a foreign country to talk about Taiwan. So that is the focus of August. It's also important to remember that talking about the world, talking about countries and societies and current news is also a very good way to learn English. Okay? Talking about contemporary issues and thinking about social issues is a very important way to think about English progress and use the English language. Okay, in September, we will focus on English songs and English YouTube channels. So different resources. There are more English songs that I can ever possibly cover, but I will share with you, we here in the room will share with you our favorite English songs. Okay, and I'll ask different guests to sing if they want to. Okay, you know who you are. We will present to you some English songs, and in particular we will talk about how to learn with English songs. Okay, how do we learn English by listening to songs, and how do we talk about music? How do we talk about whether we like or dislike a song or an artist? There are some specific kinds of vocabulary we can use, special ways of finding new music or talking about music with friends. We'll deal with this on September the 6th. On September the 13th, I will share with you some of my favorite English YouTube channels. And what I mean by English YouTube channels is not just channels that teach English, although those are also very important. There are some wonderful ones. But there will also be, we will also talk about channels that are created in English. The content is English. Particularly, there are some that I really like that are hosted, that are created by Asian Americans. So people who have cultures that are similar to us, but their English is their mother tongue. There's some interesting issues that they deal with, some very funny videos to watch. So we will talk about English YouTube channels, and of course I will ask our cast and crew to provide some of their favorites. And there will be probably a special guest or a special advertisement that we will do on September the 13th. One of my favorite YouTube channels, and a friend of mine will probably, we will talk about it when the time comes. All right. Okay, so these are the topics. I hope that you will join us, if possible, you will join us online during the live broadcast, or you will watch the live broadcast afterwards. For each of these topics during the summertime, you will be presented with the opportunity to answer a worksheet for self-learning points, and we will give those details online. You will spend some time watching the film worksheet, or just watching the live broadcast and answering some basic questions. Since it is summertime, I will also provide a chance for some short answer, okay, very short, which I will personally read and respond to where appropriate. And so hopefully during the summertime we can all expand our view, we can all be introduced into new ways of thinking, into new ways of approaching different topics and different kinds of media presented in English. Okay, so today, on to our topic, okay, one of my favorite films of 2017. Okay, we are talking today about wonderful Wonder Woman, okay, 神力女超人. Okay, now, it's not that interesting if we just talk about a film. But I think the first question that we should focus on is how do we talk about the film and why do we go to watch films. I will presume here that you have watched either the trailer or the film. Okay, so Iris, are there people watching? No?
One or two.
There are 1 or 2 people watching. Whoever you are, please leave a comment. Okay, who are you? And have you watched Wonder Woman? Have you watched Wonder Woman? Please leave a comment in our live broadcast. Okay, and since no one else is watching, I will ask people in the audience right now, in our live audience. Okay, so what is it about approaching a film that we should think about? Okay, there are 3 questions. Okay, so if you're not watching now, it's okay. But even later, okay, when you are watching any kind of film, I want you all to think of 3 questions. Okay, the first one is, do I understand the film? Sometimes you don't understand, you just don't get it. Okay, so the plot is misleading, it's confusing, the acting is strange, something is off. But that is the first question I think we should ask, whether it is reading a novel, it is watching a film, regardless. Ask yourself this first question: do I get it? Do I get it or not? And if you don't get it, ask yourself why. Okay, maybe it's because that it's terrible, right? Or it's meant to be obscure. It's meant to be strange. But maybe it's simply because there's something wrong for you. So the first question you should ask is, do I understand the film? Okay, the second question that you should ask is, do I like it? How do I feel about it? Okay, when you are talking about a film with people, normally it's better than saying the film is good, or the film is bad, or I liked it, or I didn't like it. It's best to give some reasons as to why you like or dislike the film. You can not like it, you can dislike a film, but as students of English, as students who are learning about culture, we should think about why. Okay, we should understand why it is. It just doesn't meet my needs. It doesn't fulfill my emotional or spiritual needs. Why not the film? Why can't it? Okay, so that's the second question. Okay, and the third question is to ask, in general, what does the film tell us about society and about human nature? Okay, there's always a statement that is being made in a film. There's a reason why a work exists. Maybe it exists just to make money. So maybe it's horrible in terms of its artistic choices, but it's good because it makes money. Okay, there are some films like that. Maybe it's meant for just entertainment. That's also a reason. Maybe it's meant for a specific purpose. Okay, so we think about these 3 questions. 1, do I understand? 2, do I like it? Why not for both? And 3rd, what is its purpose? What purpose does it fulfill? And whether it fills this purpose. If you can answer these 3 questions, and if you can explain these answers to different films in English and in Chinese, then you have begun to appreciate films, and you've begun to position yourself as a critic of culture and a critic of contemporary art, or older times art, different types. Okay, so those are the 3 questions. I will answer them first. Okay, do I understand Wonder Woman? Okay, in this film, I believe yes. The answer is yes. I do actually. I think the film is not that hard to understand. Okay, it is a film that is set up very clearly. The structure is clear to me, and I understand what is happening. I think 100%. Okay, I'm confident that I understand 100% of the film. And whether I like it, oh yeah, I love the film. And I'll tell you why. Okay, the first reason I love it is not because Wonder Woman is really, really attractive. Okay, that is a big plus. Okay, certainly it's wonderful. But it's a powerful film for me. I love it because finally there is a woman superhero. Okay, and in the real sense of what a woman superhero should be like. Okay, a lot of times women superheroes, they have to use their attractiveness to win. Okay, they have to be seductive to win. Or they don't have real fighting powers. Okay, all they have is some supernatural power. Right? That is also that. Or they're not equals with men. Okay, these are the major problems that have existed in women superheroes. They're positioned in a very feminine way. They're sometimes overpowering men, sometimes shadowed, never equal, and sometimes they have to resort to their physical beauty. Okay, so Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot here, Diana, we'll refer to her as Diana. In this film, for me, she is an equal with her male counterpart. Okay, played by Chris Pine, right? I believe his name is Trevor. Is that right? Trevor. Trevor. And they are equals, and that is a wonderful thing. Okay, and the third thing is another thing I really like about the film is that there's something so satisfying about seeing a girl kick ass. Okay, I'm not allowed to say it on live broadcast, but there's something so satisfying, and she is every bit the equal of any fighter. Okay? She doesn't have to use her seductive powers. She doesn't use like poison or something. No, she uses physical strength. Okay? Physically, she is very, very capable. Okay, and what does this film, therefore, what does this film tell us about society? What does it tell us about our position now, women's position now in society? I think there's often concerns of feminism. There are issues of where do women stand in society? Is there a glass ceiling in terms of rising to positions in society? If we are to believe what we see in this film, women are better than men. I think that's the truth. Okay, I'm putting it out there. Women are the better sex. Me, as a man, I'm allowed to say that. Okay, I belong to the weaker sex. Okay, women are the better sex. I put it out there. Say what you will. All right. Okay, so who's watching? Anyone watching? Iris? We can have a conversation now. One, two, three. 1, 2, or 3 are watching. Oh, okay. So maybe someone I know. Anyone comment below? Anyone leave a comment? No one? Okay. So if you are watching, please answer the first question. Do you understand the film? And we're going to give some spoilers today. So if you have not watched the film, that's okay. I was going to say you can leave, but no. Okay, please. All right. So in our audience today, I will ask if you have watched the film, do you understand? Okay, so there are a few people here who have watched the film. So I will name out our 3 wonderful crew members. Okay, so Christine, would you say you understand the film Wonder Woman?
Yes, I think I do.
Okay, you think you understand what happens in the film. Erica, yes?
Yes, and I watched it twice.
You watched it twice. Okay, I did too. I watched it twice. And I'll tell you about my experience of watching it twice. Okay, third time, Iris? Do you feel like, yes, I understand?
Yes.
What happens, the story is understandable. Okay, so let's put together the basics of the story. Okay, so Diana, she is a young girl at the beginning of the film. She is a young girl on the island of, I believe it's Themyscira. It's a very strange word. Themyscira. And she is raised as a warrior, okay, against her mother's wishes, but she is raised as a fierce warrior, and she discovers that she has some kind of supernatural power, a little bit. Then from out of the sky, a man comes in. Okay, Trevor comes in, who is a captain and a spy, and she saves his life. She is exposed to death. She is exposed to war, and she is determined to help end the war. In the end, she is able to do so after she finds her powers, but also after Trevor dies. Okay, so he sacrifices himself. That's the big spoiler. Sorry to tell you. Okay, but this is the end of the film. So she finds her power within herself, her full power, after great tragedy, after great loss. She also learns about humans. She comes to her own understanding of human nature, which is that humans might not be perfect. They're not. There's good and evil. There's lightness and darkness in every human. But it's not about that. It's about what you choose to believe and what you choose to focus on. Okay? And in the process, she shows up all kinds of wonderful moves. She throws a truck. That's really cool, right? She picked up a tank, I believe it's a tank, right? She picks up a tank and throws it. That's awesome. Okay, so if you haven't watched the film, we'll talk about some details in a minute. So we all understand the film, so you all know the basic ideas of what is behind the film now. Now, what do I feel? So, do you like the film? And sometimes it's very easy. It's important to think about different questions. So, holistic score, big score, from a scale of 1 to 10. How much do you like the film? 10, 10, 10. Anyone else? 10. Okay, you don't have to be 10. It can be like truly like. So, Erica, you say.
It's 10.
10. Okay, Erica gives it a 10. Okay, 2 10s. Christine. 9. Okay, so you were going to give, what was your first reaction? What was your first reaction? Holistic score, big score. What is your original idea?
I think the movie is really good, but some of the action is too exaggerated.
Yes, too much CGI, right? Too much, yes, too much exaggeration. Okay, very good. So maybe 8, right? So some people give me 8. Okay, 8 and 9. Okay, 8 and 9. Very good. Okay, so some parts of the CGI. So that's one part. Very good. Iris?
Like 7.
7. Okay, 7. So why is it less than 10? What makes it a 7?
Like Christine said, I think the CGI is too exaggerate and the plot is going too fast for me.
The plot is too fast.
Yes, and I think some audience might not understand some parts in the movies because it's referred to the comics, original comics.
Yes.
And for the non-main characters, I think their actings are not as satisfied as the main characters.
Very good. So there are a few very good issues here that I agree. For instance, for me, and not just the main, particularly I feel the villains are very boring. Very boring villains, actually. They come up, they laugh. It's not as interesting as some of the other super movie films. There are some better villains out there. Certainly, that's very true. The CGI gets kind of heavy, okay, particularly at the end. Right? There's some moment like, okay, there's no reason why they have to do this. But they have budget, I suppose, and they create these huge scenes of powerful CGI that doesn't require, might not be so necessary. That's also true. In terms of the plot, I've heard different complaints. Okay, some people have said they don't get it. They feel like the plot is just one direction. Okay, not interesting enough. They feel that. So Wonder Woman ends a war. That's it. Okay, she finds love and she ends a war. They're not convinced by the growth of the main character. If you're not invested in this story, you might not be able to get it. And that's possible. That's certainly very possible. Okay, so let's move on to, I want to mention a few things. Sorry, first return back. Yeah. I want to mention a few things about this costume. This is not the same thing as the original Wonder Woman. But let's notice what colors she's wearing. She's wearing blue, she's wearing red, and in the past she used to wear white. Okay, so these are the national colors of the United States, and also of Britain, if you will. Red, white, and blue, particularly of America. So she would not wear green. Okay, this is I wasn't meaning that. Okay, I'm just kidding. Anyway, green is not a national color. Green is not considered a national color in America. Wonder Woman being an American creation, of course she wears red, white, and blue. There's also an eagle symbol across her costume. This is also an American national flag. So there's something kind of patriotic, I think, about Wonder Woman, something very American. And you can criticize certain things. For instance, Gal Gadot in one of the interviews, she said that, how come Superman and Batman, they get full costumes, right? But she has to show skin, right? This is not very fair, right? So there's still some sensuality on display here. But anyway, that's part of our culture, which you can criticize. Okay, so she wields. She's famous in this film. She wields a sword, but she's famous for this magical lasso. Okay, and make of that what you will. Why does she do it? You will find out in the film. I won't give everything away. All right, so next slide. Okay, so let's move on to, let's talk a bit about the universe surrounding the superheroes. Okay, so there are, in case you don't know, in terms of society, in terms of the characterization, there are two big universes for superheroes. What are the two big universes? Anyone in the audience? There are two huge universes of comic books. One of them is called DC Comics. One of them is called DC. Okay, and DC Comics is the world where Wonder Woman comes from. Batman is also DC. Superman, DC. Okay, that's the first universe. I'm not that familiar, but I know the basics. What is the second universe? Yes, it's very good. It's Marvel. Marvel is the second big universe, and they don't mix. Okay, this is, as far as I know, there are no canonical mixings of these two universes. The second universe, like I said, Marvel, that is the world of Iron Man, of Spider-Man, etc. And so there are some interesting things to compare, and of course there's some competition between these universes. And it's important to sort of think about why we have these two universes and why they're so popular. Okay, so a question for all of you, which I will also ask in the worksheet. Why do we have superhero or superheroine films? Why do we like these so much? Why do we have Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Spider-Man and Iron Man and Ant-Man? Right, yeah, why? Or the Hulk, Captain America. Why are these films so interesting for us? Okay. Students in the audience, I would normally ask a guest here, but there's no guest today. Anyone want to answer? Is there anyone watching? No more?
Yeah, still 1 to 3.
Still 1 to 3. Okay, wonderful. So students, please, this is your chance. Okay, this is your chance to get your self-learning point. Why do we have superhero films? You can also ask a question. Are there any questions?
Not yet.
No. Okay. No one's asked a question. So yes, why are there superhero films? Why do we like these kind of films? Silence. Okay. Does anyone in the cast want to provide an answer for us? Okay. Why do we watch superhero films, and why are they so interesting to watch? Yes. Okay, Erica. Yeah. Yeah. Why do we watch superhero films? Why do we have these in our culture? Easy answer. Whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be hard.
Because these abilities don't exist in real life and give us like fantasy or hope.
Very good. Yes. So there's something fantastic about it. Watching superhuman strength or supernatural powers. Exceptionally good-looking men and women with superhuman powers. Okay, and that is in and of itself, that is very fun to watch, okay? And because they represent something hopeful, like you said, or something that is better than real life, okay? An imagined or an idealized real life. But that's not all. That's not enough. You need something else. You need one more thing. What is it about these characters that if they're too perfect, then they become like a fantasy, right? But what makes their stories interesting?
They defeat bad guys in the end.
They defeat evil. Very good. There's something very satisfying about that. That they are good characters who defeat evil. Yes, they are good characters who defeat evil. And the best ones the best films, I believe, are films that show evil in a way that shows human nature. Okay? The way I'm saying, this is kind of complicated. But what I'm trying to say is that they go through real human struggles that we can identify with. If they are so perfect and they are up there and nothing, they just come out of the world and they don't have real problems that we can identify with, then it's not so interesting. And it becomes too idealized. But they go through the same struggles. The struggles of growth, the struggles of love, the struggles of loss. Okay? And they have to go through these trials and tribulations, and they become a little bit more perfect. And they go through the same things that we do as humans, and that's what makes a good story. Something that is idealized,